LaToyia found a career, an ambitious career that kept her driven in real estate. She understood that as parents, she was able to make sacrifices. She understood that as parents, we make sacrifices daily that prevent us from being able to watch our kids grow. So why not have a career where the two don't have to be mutually exclusive? She felt that a real estate career would help her have a positive impact on her family and community. LaToyia wakes up ambitious and driven for her clients because of the excitement that comes with helping others pursue and attain those things they never thought were possible, like homeownership. She loves telling her clients those two simple words that are on the front of millions of doors in the US: welcome home. What Bay Area city would she like to live in and why? She says Walnut Creek, guys. It's such a beautiful town and community. I couldn't agree more with her. Welcome to the stage, LaToyia. She's coming. I know it. She turned her camera on too. There she is. Hi.
Did I do that right?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Love to see you. Awesome. You sound like you're ready to go.
I think so.
Good. Well, you look amazing. So,
Thank you.
so that's always what matters, right? All right, guys. Well, we are going to be talking about can you cash flow in Northern California with this lovely lady here. LaToyia, can you explain to us what cash flowing on a property means?
Well, to me, cash flowing in terms of real estate just means collecting monthly rental income and making a profit. So when you purchase a home, you have a mortgage payment, property taxes, and insurance, sometimes maintenance and property management. That can all be expenses to take into account. So you just want to make sure that your income or the profit that you make is higher than your expenses and then you're cash flowing.
Okay. I love it. That's a great answer.
Short answer.
Right. So that leads us to this question. With home prices sky high, which is what everybody's saying, especially in the Bay Area, can't imagine being able to find a property that cash flows in that specific area. Is it possible around there? And if so, where?
Well, although prices in the Bay Area can be pretty high, it's definitely possible to cash flow. So there's areas such as Sacramento or Vacaville, Fairfield, that's Solano County. They have a lower median price than other areas in Northern California. So areas such as Oakland or San Francisco, Silicon Valley, it's a higher median. So homes at a lower price point have a higher chance of cash flowing. Personally, I feel that you can cash flow just about anywhere. And how you do that is you find the property for the right price. So, obviously Solano County, Sacramento, it's going to be a lower median. So you have a better chance at cash flowing. They have, lower price point. So the cash flow, am I saying this right? At a lower price point.
Great. That's a great.
At a lower price point, you have a better chance of cash flowing at a higher rate.
I knew what you meant. You're like lower, higher. Make sure I don't say it wrong. Yes.
Right. You also have to know what your targeted ROI is. That's your return on investment. You have to know what your goals are. So it might be harder. You can cash flow in a single family residence or a multi-unit.
Right.
It may be harder to cash flow in a single family home because the ROI is likely going to be higher when you have multiple units. But a single family home may be more within the budget for some investors. I did a little research and found that the average median price for a single family home in Sacramento is $450,000, and you might get $2,000 for rent. That's the average for the rent in Sacramento. And in Oakland, the average median is $850,000, and you may get $2,700. So as you can see, there's a big difference in the price of the property, but not a huge difference in the monthly income that property could bring.
Awesome. Well, I was just about to ask you that question too. In the cities where it was possible, what type of return can they expect? So you already gave us that information, which was super valuable, and I hope everybody understood it. Please, everybody, as well, since we kind of skipped and glossed over the introduction, which I'll do in our transition, make sure that you're directing questions if you have them for this lovely LaToyia into the Q&A. That way, when we're done, we can get to some of those questions if we have enough time. So Ivy says, "Ooh, I might be moving to Sacramento, LaToyia." You said that. Awesome. Well, our next question for you is, would you recommend hiring a property manager to take care of your property? What are your thoughts on that?
So hiring, I mean, my short answer is yes, but it all depends on the investor, the location of the property, meaning how close that property is to you as the owner or the landlord, how much time you have, how much knowledge you have with rental and tenant laws. In some cases, the property may be further than a 30-mile radius from you. And if you're working a full-time job or you're managing other properties or other projects, juggling your day-to-day tasks, you may not have the time to manage a property the proper way. And the last thing that you want is, a lawsuit. So just being knowledgeable what you can handle and what you know. So like I said, if you're juggling all these things, you're not going to have the dedicated time to manage multiple properties and the tenants. And so it would be most beneficial for you to hire a property manager or a property management company. And just kind of learning what the standard rate is for property management is key. Knowing if you'll need full service property management. Most property management companies charge 8% of the monthly rent. So that's what, on a $2,000 a month property, that's $160. And I know I would pay someone $160 to manage my potential stressors. So I would definitely recommend. But if you're, that investor or that person who's more hands-on and you might be a contractor, you may be handy, you possibly could manage your own property. So it might not be necessary to hire property management.
That was super comprehensive. I really appreciate that information, especially that deeper knowledge. So thank you for that. What about your recommendations for neighborhoods that you see as potential long-term investment opportunities?
So it's always hard to predict where the next big spot is going to be, especially with the times that we're living in today, and then with this, moving market. Google's always a great resource. You can Google like highest population growth in California or Northern California or Bay Area, looking into underdeveloped or up and coming areas where these big companies such as like Amazon, where they're setting up shop and providing employment is always a plus, because when people relocate for work, they're likely going to be looking for a rental property. For example, places like Patterson or West Sacramento, those are areas that are growing. Amazon is building, more what is it called? Warehouses there. So, you're going to have more people relocating, and it's also cheaper to live in those areas. So, areas like that. Sacramento is constantly developing. I read somewhere that they have a soccer team and that they're building like a bridge that goes from West Sacramento to downtown Sacramento. So just having the knowledge and being aware of those things, like what's the next new thing for this area, that'll kind of tell you which areas to invest in. So just knowing things like that is always helpful when you're planning your next location for cash flowing.
Well, I don't think that you could have said any of those points better. Thank you so much for being our resident expert on this subject today. We really appreciate you.
The number one thing, though, my number one tip.
I love it. Here she goes. She's going to give us the gold, right? Here you go, guys.
Just knowing that California has rental control, rent, and tenant laws. So having knowledge of that is like key, and you'll do great.